For joining us today on Facebook Live. I'm Anthony Pugliese, Executive Vice President of Membership Technology and Learning, and I'm here with Claire Rosso, Vice President of Member Learning and Competency. And we're here today to talk about Human Intelligence, a new learning series designed to teach you about the future workforce. Big topic. And so I'll ask Claire, can you tell us a little bit about how work is changing? Like, what's the need for all this?
Well, I love a good challenge, as I know you do. I think it's all about how do we beat the bot. We have been talking about artificial intelligence for a long time. We've been talking about robots for a long time. Now is the time. Experts predict that in the next few years, 40% of what accounting and finance professionals do will be replaced by artificial intelligence. So we have to change.
Wow. That's a big number.
Not to make you nervous.
Well, what knowing that, with that in mind, what skills and competencies would we need in the future? How do we compete?
All right. Well, so one thing we have going for us is we're human. And really, it's a lot of things that we've talked about for a long time about being important to the accounting and finance profession. But now is, I guess, really when the rubber hits the road. So the skills are things like critical thinking, complex problem solving, and in a world where the robots are doing the easy work, it's going to be the kinds of problems we've never really seen before, which is going to require my favorite thing, creativity, to identify new ideas, new solutions, new technologies. But there's also a lot of people skills too. People leadership during a time of tremendous change is going to be critical. Coordinating with others and really thinking about how we work with stakeholders. When you and I were out meeting with members recently, that just came up over and over, and it's going to become even more critical. I think a couple other things are cognitive flexibility. Like really, it's almost like we're going to have to start thinking about how do we multitask in the work environment and think about multiple things in different ways at the same time. But it's exciting. And, you know, you're a CPA, CGMA, CITP. How have you had to use these skills in the workplace in your career?
It's interesting. A year ago, artificial intelligence it felt years away. And here we are today, literally understanding how we can use it in the way we deliver learning and development and how we enhance competencies. I think a lot of the things you say resonate. I think negotiation skills, not in the sense of I'm negotiating a contract, I'm in a business situation, but how do we get stakeholders to, see our opinions, understand the value of what we're presenting, negotiating to a common point of understanding. That's never been more important than it is now, especially as we look at a global membership and how we service a global membership. People leadership, leading teams with very different skill sets, sometimes not even in your own path of learning through your own career, is more and more critical as things become more complex. And like you said, creativity for a profession rooted in accounting, creativity has actually become huge as we see the markets expand around us, and then how I need to, you need to, our teams need to be creative in how we react to markets we've never been in before. Yeah. From product delivery to standards to all the things in our CGMA syllabus and CPA exam syllabus. I could go on and on. There's a lot of things about that. But I have a question for you.
Okay.
So the interesting, I mentioned literally a year ago, or even 6 months ago, things like blockchain and artificial intelligence were like, oh yeah, you know what, let's think about that and how it's going to impact us in the next few years. And all of a sudden it's like now. So how soon do you think these kind of skills, all the ones you've mentioned and I just spoke about, are going to be needed, like innately needed by, I'll say our profession, but by people in the workforce? Is that now?
Yeah, not to make you nervous or you nervous. I think yesterday.
Yeah.
I really think yesterday. I think it's in part this like beating the bot, But I also think it's about looking at the new people that are entering the profession, and they just aren't going to have the patience for doing things the same way that we've always done it. And that actually could be a competitive advantage for all of us as we interchange and have a new crop of professionals come in and have a new way of looking at doing business. So I think it's really exciting.
And it's interesting, you mentioned our recent member visits, and we heard exactly that these soft skills, however you want to classify them, are exactly what employers are looking for. They assume the technical. They assume that's being developed through university or through certifications, but the soft skills are in high demand. Which, one more question for you, Claire. I know we have the new Human Intelligence series of learning. Can you give me an idea about how you approach that, what kind of competencies you obtain, what it's all about, how it's delivered?
Okay, so it's a great question. So Human Intelligence, How to Beat the Bot wasn't the winning name for it. So our Human Intelligence series is going to be a probably more than monthly Facebook Live series. And we are going to cover all these new skills and competencies, the new, the really old, right? In that, and sort of dig deep into them. So there might be things like communication and presentation. How do I manage stakeholders? So we will do Facebook Lives. We'll bring in experts to help us do it. And then the best part is the team's going to take those Facebook Live programs and turn them around and flip them into nano learning in just a couple days. So you'll have multiple ways you can either participate in the live or participate in your own time.
That's awesome. And a quick question, nano learning, for those that don't understand or have never experienced it, what would that look like? What is nano learning?
So nano is really kind of just-in-time learning that's very small, bite-sized. NASBA recently approved it as a approved form of CPE for CPAs, but your total experience is about 10 minutes. You learn something, you take a test, and boom, you're done. It's really fast and easy.
That's awesome. And you get credit for it.
And you get credit, too.
Well, everybody, I hope Claire and I have at least demonstrated some presentation and communication skills today. I'm so glad you were able to join us. Thank you. Look forward to talking to you in the future.